Hello everybody. Now I am going to take a portion from Classic Science, Chapter 7, Getting to Know Plants. Go outside and observe all the plants around you. Some plants are small, some are big, and some plants we can see on the walls in the form of green patches. Some have green leaves, some have other colors. Some have flowers and some have no flowers. So a variety of plants are existing around us. Then what are the parts of a plant? We can see the parts of a plant. Here we can see root, bud, stem, leaf, fruit, flowers. These are the different parts of a plant. And the root comprises the root system, and above the soil, the roots are present below the soil. Above the soil we can see all the other parts, that is known as shoot system. We can classify the plants into herbs, shrubs and trees. Then what are herbs? Herbs have very small green tender stem and also they have few branches. Example, grass, tomato, wheat, paddy, etc. Then shrubs. Shrubs are medium-sized, hard stem but not very thick. Branches arise near the base of the stem. So shrubs, they are medium-sized plants. They have hard stem but it is not very thick, and their branches are arising near the base of the stem. Example, hibiscus, lemon, rose, etc. The next category is trees. They are all tall plants with a hard brown thick stem, and the branches, they have branches on the upper part of the stem. Example, neem, mango, peepal, etc. Next, we can see other type of plants, that is creepers. Some of the plants are creepers and some are climbers. What are creepers? Creepers are plants with weak stems. They cannot stand upright and spread on the ground. Example, melon, cucumber. Then other type of plant is, they are known as climbers. The climbers take support on neighboring structures and climb up. Example, grape, money plant, etc. Now we have to study about the first part of the plant, that is stem. Now we can do an activity. We have to take a glass which contains red colored water. In this glass, we have to cut the stem of a balsam and keep it in this water. And it has white flowers also. The next day or after few hours, we can see this plant is up. This plant has got the color of that water, that is red in color. How the plant becomes red? Because the stem conducts water to all the parts of the plant body. That is why it is changed into red color. Now we have to cut a portion of the stem, and when we are observing that, there we can see some dot-like structures around this, and these are the tubes which transmits the water from stem to other parts of the plant. So through these tubes, the water reach to different parts of the plant body. So what is the function of stem? Stem conducts water and minerals from root to all the other parts of the plant body. So the function of stem is the conduction of water and minerals from roots to the upper part of the plant. Now we can see the experiment what I told now. So here we have taken a red colored red colored water in a glass, and inside that we have to keep a shrub. Then we can see that herb is changed into red color because the stem conducts the water and minerals from roots to upper part of the plant. So through the stem, the colored water enters to different parts of the plant. So water moves up the stem conducts water and also the minerals dissolved in water. The function of the stem is conduction of water and minerals to the upper part of the plant, and we can see inside the stem narrow tubes, and these tubes transfer the water and minerals to the leaves and also to the other parts of the plant body. Then we can do a funny activity. That is, we have to take a herb and split half of the stem with a blade, and these two halves we have to keep in two glasses which contains colored water. We have to take a herb and split the stem into two portions, and this portion we have to keep it in a glass which contains a red colored water, and this portion we have to keep in a glass contains blue colored water. Then what will happen now? We can see this portion of the plant is having red color and this portion of the plant is having blue color. How it happened? Because the tubes what is present in this side of the stem carried the red color to this side, and the tube present in this side of the plant, it carried blue colored water to this side. So that is why half of the plant will be in one color, the other half will be in another color. The next part of the plant, that is leaf. We can see that in different plants the leaves are of different in size, shape and color. Now we have to study the structure of the leaf. So this is the structure of a leaf. Here we can see the part of the leaf by which it is attached to the stem is called petiole. This is petiole. This is the part where it is attached to the stem. And the broad green part of the leaf, this portion, that is known as lamina or leaf blade. This lamina is otherwise known as leaf blade. Then the lines on the leaf, they are called veins. Here you can see different lines on the leaf that are known as vein. A prominent line in the middle of the leaf, this one, that is known as midrib. This is the structure of a leaf. Then the design made by veins in a leaf is known as leaf venation. So leaf venation means the design made by veins in a leaf. There are two types of venation, that is reticulate venation and parallel venation. In reticulate venation, net-like design on both sides of the midrib. This is the structure of reticulate venation. Example, that pea, rose, tulsi. There in that leaves we can see net-like design on both sides of the midrib. The next is parallel venation. The veins are parallel to one another. Here, this is example of parallel venation. Example, paddy, bamboo, grass. We can do an activity. We have to take a branch of a plant which is having leaves, and this leafy branch is covered with a polythene bag and tie its mouth. This polythene bag should be dry, that means it does not contain any moisture. We have to do this experiment in a sunny day, and after some hours when you are taking this polythene bag, we can see droplets of water inside the polythene bag. From where the water comes? The water comes through the leaves. That means leaves are transpiring water through the stomata, and this process is known as transpiration. So what is transpiration? Loss of water from the leaves through stomata. That is known as transpiration, and this is the experiment for transpiration. Plants release a lot of water into the air through this process. By this transpiration process, the plants release a lot of water into air. Now we can do an activity to show the presence of starch in a leaf. Take a leaf and put it in a test tube containing spirit or alcohol. And this test tube we have to keep in a beaker which is half filled with water, and then boil the beaker. When the water boils, the alcohol also boils, and the alcohol, you know that what's the color of alcohol? It is white in color. When the water boils, the alcohol also boiling, and after that we can see the alcohol is changing into green color. That is the chlorophyll present in the leaf dissolved in that alcohol. So that is why the alcohol changed into green and the leaf color is changed into white because the chlorophyll is dissolved. And after that, we have to take the leaf from the test tube and wash it in water and keep it in a watch glass. Add a drop of iodine solution on this leaf. It is changing into blue-black. Why it is changing into blue-black? Because the leaf contains starch. And from where the leaf stored that starch, we know that the leaves are preparing food by themselves by the process of photosynthesis. They are preparing food from carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight, and the leaves are preparing this starch. And this starch is stored in different parts of the plant body, that is in root, stem and leaves. And these parts are the edible parts, that means eatable parts. Then here one question is there, why we not boil that alcohol directly into the flame? You know that alcohol is highly inflammable, so that we cannot boil that alcohol directly. That is why we have kept that alcohol containing test tube in a beaker which contains water. So the leaves are preparing food from carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight, and that process is known as photosynthesis. At the time of photosynthesis, a gas is liberating, and that is oxygen. And this oxygen is used for respiration. The food prepared by leaves is stored in different parts of the plant body. Another activity we have to do, that is sunlight is necessary for photosynthesis. For this experiment, we have to take a potted plant and keep it in a dark room for 2 or 3 days. Then after that, in one of the leaf, we have to cover half of the leaf with a black strip and keep this potted plant again in sunlight for a day. And after that, plug the leaf which is covered with that black strip. Half of the portion only is covered with the black strip. Plug the leaf, and we are doing that starch, that same starch test what we did now. Then you can see half of the portion is changing into blue-black and the other portion is not changing into blue-black. That means the portion which is covered with that black strip is not changing into blue-black. The other portion only is changing into blue-black, because the portion which got that sunlight only prepared that starch. The other portion not get that sunlight, so it could not prepare starch. From this experiment, we can understand sunlight is necessary for photosynthesis. Next portion we have to study, that's the next part of the plant, that is root. What's the function of root? Root help in holding the plant firmly in the soil. That is, holding means anchoring the plant firmly in the soil. And they absorb water and minerals from the soil. Some plants, they are stored food in their roots. Example, carrot, radish, turnip, sweet potato, tapioca, and these are all the edible parts. There are two types of root. They are all taproot and fibrous root. In taproot, we can see in the center there is a root, that is taproot, and there are certain branches on the taproot, they are known as lateral roots. In fibrous root, there we can see all the roots are arising from the base of the stem, and the roots are small and thin hairy-like structures. Examples of fibrous roots, that is paddy, bamboo, grass, etc. Examples of taproot is tulsi, rose, rubber, hibiscus, etc. So based on that root, we can identify what is the venation of leaf. The plants which have taproot system, their leaf venation will be reticulate. And the plants which have fibrous root system, their venation will be parallel. So based on that root system, we can identify what is the type of venation in plants. And after, when we are seeing the venation of the leaves, then also we can identify what type of root system they have. If the plants which are having reticulate venation, their root system will be taproot. And if the plants which have parallel venation, their root system will be fibrous root system. We studied that the food is stored in different parts of the plant, and we eat the roots of carrot, radish, sweet potato, turnip and tapioca. We also eat many other parts of a plant where the food is stored. Stem conducts water and minerals from roots to the leaves and other parts of the plant body, and the leaves are preparing the food, and the food is from the leaves the food is transferred to all the parts of the body by stem. Next portion is flower. The flower is the reproductive part of a plant. Now we have to study what are the parts of a flower. In this diagram we can see what are the parts of a flower. The parts of a flower is sepal, petal, stamen and pistil. Pistil is the innermost part of a flower, and in this pistil we can see stigma, style, ovary, and here you can see ovule. And this stigma, style, ovary and ovule constitute the pistil, and it is the female part of a flower. Then stamen, this is the male part of a flower, and it contains anther and filament. Then these are all petals. The petals are differ in colors. The color and the smell of petals attracts the insects for pollination. Then what's the function of sepal? Sepal protects the flower bud. So we studied that pistil is the female part of a flower and stamen is the male part of a flower. So in pollination, the pollen from anther is falling on the stigma of the flower, and fertilization takes place inside the ovary. After fertilization, the ovary is changing into fruit and ovule is changing into seed. Then what are the agents of pollination? The pollination takes place through wind, water and animals. Now we have to answer the following questions. First question, what are herbs, shrubs and trees? Give example. Second question, what is the difference between creepers and climbers? Third question, write the function of stem. Fourth one, draw the structure of a leaf and label the parts. Fifth question, what is venation? Write the two types of venation. Sixth question, explain transpiration with the help of an experiment. Seventh question, write the function of root. Eighth question, explain the difference between fibrous root and taproot. Draw the diagram of a flower and label the parts. Let me conclude. Thank you.